This video is for those who've never started independently but have the itch. You feel the urge to have something you can call your own, but you need to figure out where or how to start. Well, this video will get you started in the right place. You see, everything good starts with an evil plan in most cases. If you were to go back in time and do something all over again, you'd be at least twice as fast. You'd land that job way short, get that skill quickly, etc. So, your original plan could have been better, but it led to something good. Great job! And speaking of time travel, people fear changing any detail in history so they don't cause a massive butterfly effect. But at the same time, they don't think about changing one little thing now that could have an enormous impact on the future. It's about something other than having a fantastic plan and the perfect lousy plan. And this is how you do it step by step. Welcome back to another exciting video. Today's video is about how to make the perfect bad plan. Before we start the video, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon. And the first thing you need to understand about how this works is that first drafts are always flawed, and it's supposed to be that way. Your job at the beginning is not to devise a perfect plan, create an A plan. Think about all the people who've never worked out a minute in their lives, but they stress about the best workouts with the maximum gains and the best diet for ultra-fast weight loss. That's you now, cooking up a grandmaster plan even when you don't know how it works. What you hope will happen in a year from now will likely occur in a different form on a different timeline. The point is, you shouldn't stress about that because, at the very first stage, your only job is to have one generic, broad, and simple basic-ass plan. You want to start a YouTube channel and sustain yourself from ad revenue. Solid idea. Your primary plan is to make X amount of videos in the next X months. That's it. That's your plan. It doesn't matter how good your content is or how many numbers you generate. That's all stuff for another time. Now, the second part of this stage 1 process is risk assessment. For an evil plan to be good, it cannot leave you bankrupt, dead, or in jail. That's it. So you need to set up some limits for yourself which should never be crossed. And the way you do this is to think about the worst case scenarios. For example, investing too much time into this might make you underperform at the current thing you're doing, which may lead to getting fired, and now you're homeless. That's a nasty, evil plan. If you want to open up a coffee shop and you take out a loan, and the coffee shop sucks, and you can't pay back your loan, and the bank takes your house, that is, once again, a nasty, evil plan. So, go deep into the worst case scenarios and set up limits. So, these worst case scenarios never happen. The final part of stage 1 is to adopt a flexible mindset. You will probably not hit every mark, you will miss some arbitrary deadlines. The point is to keep at it, not to quit when you've barely even started. Now, stage 2 is executing the lousy plan. So you've got your generic plan, some limits that keep you grounded and open, and a growth mentality. The next stage of the process is to implement something that we call the minimum required action. What is the minimum amount of work you must do to get away with it? It's usually something you can do right now without needing anything extra. For example, let's say you plan to get into shape eventually. The minimum required action could be going for a 30-minute walk. That's it. You do it once, and you're done with it. Now, if you can't pull yourself together and do this one little thing, you need to go into the bathroom, throw some cold water on your face, and try again because this is some pretty basic stuff. Now, the minimum required action has 3 purposes. 1. It gets you into a place where you feel like you're doing it. Secondly, it's the first step in creating a habit you'll rely on. And lastly, it's also the first step in creating a feedback loop, which we'll discuss later. So think about the minimum required action, write it down on a piece of paper if you must, then pick a date and a place where you will do it. It has to be done within the next 24 hours to avoid procrastination. This is a low-stakes activity. You don't care about anything besides getting it done, regardless of how long it takes or how well you did. Congratulations, you've made your first step, which is the hardest. It's a walk in the park from here on out. The next phase of stage 2 is to keep doing the minimum required activity for around 3 months or 20 times. So why this time frame? Well, because it's long enough that you'll eventually get to a point where you don't feel like doing it, but you have to, so you will. This is the first real-world challenge you'll have to overcome. It's also long enough to start feeling like a habit, and you create a feedback loop. If you do something for 3 months, you begin to see some patterns and to understand some things better. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.